Hello everyone and welcome back to the UConn Huskies Dynasty. The Huskies, after losing the Big 12 championship game, enter as the 7 seed in the college football playoff. Now obviously we would have preferred the bye week, beating Oklahoma State and being the 2 seed. But there is one distinct advantage that we have now, and that's that we get to play a home game versus Tennessee. And you gotta love that for the seniors. They get to play in front of the home crowd on the biggest stage one more time. If you hadn't seen it before, here is the bracket. During this first round, Stanford faces North Carolina, Baylor faces Nebraska, Kansas State versus Georgia, and then Tennessee versus UConn. The winner of our matchup faces Oklahoma State. So if we can manage to beat the Volunteers, we will face the Cowboys for a second time in 3 weeks. So let's not beat around the bush. Let's get right into it. UConn, welcome to the college football playoff. It's a snow game in Connecticut, facing off against Tennessee. UConn deciding to wear white uniforms while in the snow. It's win or go home for the Huskies. And with the Zach Costanzo kick, we are underway in the college football playoff. Tennessee will start with the football. Will they get a big return to start the day? No. Down at the 21, let's take a look at this Tennessee offense. The Vols are quarterbacked by one of the best players in the entire country, a future first-round pick, maybe a future first overall pick, Nico Iamaleava. He's got great speed and a better arm. Look at these accuracies, including 99 deep throw accuracy. Through the nearly 40 episodes I have posted, this is easily the best quarterback we have ever faced. And it doesn't get a ton easier at other positions. Halfback 1 is Deshaun Bishop, an 87 overall. Halfback 2 is Colby Cobb, another 87 overall sophomore and a good speed switch up. At wide receiver, they have Blair Saylor, a sophomore. But I think the real threat is probably Mike Matthews with the 97 speed. Wide receiver 3 is Nate Spillman, and wide receiver 4 is Rich Byron. And then the tight ends are Ethan Davis and Matthew Atwell. With the combination of an elite quarterback and some very, very good weapons, I think this is the best offense we have ever faced. Joey Terrell doesn't care though. He's in the backfield, bringing down Bishop immediately. They appear to like to run with tempo. I chose the white jerseys today in an attempt to keep the Vols on their toes, as this is going to be another handoff, and Cam Chadwick forces the fumble. It's recovered by Tennessee though. Nearly a scary situation for the Volunteers immediately. Of course, the rule is that you can't advance, so it is still going to be a 3rd and 1 despite that ball falling forward from the 30. Blitz on its way under some pressure, but getting out of it and throwing it away is Iamaleava. But it's 4th down anyway, and the Volunteers will have to punt. Cole Welliver struggled a bit in that Big 12 championship game, I think with composure primarily, missing some key throws. 1st and 10 from the 31 for UConn. A good 3-and-out start for the defense. Robinson couldn't really get anything going against Oklahoma State. Hoping to see a little bit better from him today. 2nd and 8 from the 33. We'll go back Robinson's way. Has blockers, but there is a flag down. He is chased down from behind. Not a good pickup anyway, but it's a holding call, so UConn will back it up. 2nd and 17, bringing a man in motion. We'll go to the air for the first time today, trying to reach Dorian Tobin, and we do. He's got the breakaway speed. See you later. Dorian Tobin, his first grab goes for 6. Touchdown, Huskies. Tobin on the corner route, you just lob it up to him, and he's gonna beat the guy nearly every time. Cole Welliver saw it, lobs it up. Tobin did the rest. And the Huskies will take an early lead over Tennessee. 7-0 UConn, but we are a team known to get off to hot starts and then kind of settle down as teams figure us out. Iamaleava will hand it off, and running into A.J. Hepburn. No, excuse me, that is Kevin Simonson on the field. You rarely see him. I wonder if we're dealing with some sort of injury from Robert Butts. Normally that would be his position. But it's Simonson out on the field on the left side. Pay attention to that. He's the deep safety right now. Iamaleava, though, checks it down to his running back, Deshaun Bishop, and it's 3rd and 3. From the 27, big 3rd down here. Bishop gets the carry. Terrell there for the tackle. but he gets enough for the first. First down and 10 from the 30. Iamaleava hands off Bishop. Terrell and Lovelace combine for the tackle. No gain. They go with tempo out of the shotgun here. And Iamaleava throws quickly. Check down to Bishop again. And that's going to set up a 3rd down and 8 from the 32. And it's an empty set for the quarterback. And he will, of course, look to throw with that. Scrambling out to the left, could take off to run if he wants to, and he does decide to do just that, and the ball is forced out by Cam Chadwick again, and it's recovered by the spark plug Johnny McNulty. And UConn will take over on offense after Cam Chadwick forces his 2nd fumble on the day already. First one was not recovered by UConn. This one is. The senior thriving in front of the home crowd one more time for Cam Chadwick. 1st and 10 from the Tennessee 38 for UConn. Handoff Robinson, and really nowhere to go, only a yard. I think one of the reasons we ultimately lost that Oklahoma State game is due to the fact that we couldn't get the run game going. Kind of looking like more of the same to start the day here. No time for Welliver. From the 37, Welliver back to pass. And take the check down to Robinson, but it doesn't go very far, and now it's a 4th and 6. So it's going to be a 51-yard attempt for Zach Costanzo. Kick on its way, and that is short. No good from Costanzo. That is about his range limit. I didn't get all of that meter, unfortunately. No good, so still only 7-0 for UConn. Tennessee takes over. Iamaleava with Bishop in the backfield. So far, Bishop, the only running back we've seen. That's a drop from Blair Saylor. From the 34, 2nd and 10. Quick throw from Iamaleava, finding Rich Byron to set up a 3rd and 4. From the 39, 3rd and 4. Quick throw again. Cannot force it out. That's George Kiki in coverage. 1st down, Tennessee. Out of the shotgun again, nearing midfield. It's a handoff Bishop. Joey Terrell there, and Johnny McNulty helps him bring him down. Pick up a 4. Now past midfield on the UConn side of the field. Iamaleava fakes the handoff under some pressure. It's Corin Daly in the backfield. This one actually thrown away by Iamaleava. Makes it a 3rd and 6. Big 3rd down here. Can the UConn defense get off the field again? Iamaleava. Time to throw, but Corin Daly in the backfield once again off his back foot, but slightly underthrown. Looking for Spillman. 4th down, Tennessee punts it away. A missed opportunity for points for UConn on the last drive, but the defense appears to be playing well. Or at the very least, the Tennessee offense is not playing super well under these conditions. 2nd and 10 from the 20. Still 5 minutes left to play in the first. Robinson going nowhere. Delayed handoff. But our O-line couldn't get any push, and now it's 3rd and 14. So a long ways to go for the Huskies. Welliver is back to pass. Under pressure again. Torian Johnson getting cooked in the center. And now UConn will have to punt it away. And it was not a good kick from the punter, Roger DeLuca. 1st and 10 from the 39 for Iamaleava. And out of the shotgun, he will hand it off to Bishop. Finds a bit of a lane, about 5 yards there. This is easily the best opportunity for points that Tennessee has seen today. On 2nd and 5, it's a keeper for Iamaleava, and he'll be brought down by Cam Chadwick, holding on to the football this time. But it's a fresh set of downs from the 25 for Tennessee. It's another handoff. Bishop tries to cut it back, but cuts it back into Raheem Lovelace, who I did see is experiencing some wear and tear. But if he is able to be on the field, we're going to leave him on the field for a game that is this important. It's another handoff. Bishop. Raheem Lovelace makes another tackle. 3rd and 1. Iamaleava under center this time on a 3rd down and 1 from the 16. And it's a fake jet handoff to Bishop, tackled by his own man, but he got the first, or at least they're saying that. Looked like he was short. Got tackled by his own lineman. 1st and 10 of the 15. Unfortunate there for UConn. A friendly spot from the refs. From the 15 handoff, this is not Bishop. This is Colby Cobb, and he'll get a first on what I believe is his first carry of the day. Couple of guys on this defense experiencing some wear and tear. Bishop back in the backfield. It's a toss to him. D'Angelo Townsend, though, says no thank you and gets the TFL. Second and goal from the 6. 2 minutes left in the first quarter. A long drive here for Tennessee. Bishop on the carry. Finds the edge. End zone. Touchdown. Volunteers. Deshaun Bishop has been carrying the workload so far today. Been a lot of running from this Tennessee offense in the snowy conditions. Finds 6 here, and with the PAT, they should be tying this football game up. UConn needs to find the running game. On 1st and 10 from the 16, Robinson will get the carry. Not much room again, and it's only 2 yards. 2nd and 8 from the 18, Welliver back to pass. A bit of a blitz on its way, and he does find the tight end Marcus Angler, and that's the first positive gain in quite a while, or at least a big pickup, that is. 1st and 10 from the 38. As Welliver on the RPO checks it down to Dorian Tobin, makes a man miss, but only gets 3. Might have to start being a little bit more creative with this offense. As we approach a 2nd and 7. This could be the final play of the first quarter. Tobin gets the carry, finding the edge with his elite speed, and gets past midfield to the 48, and that should end the first. Start of the second quarter, knotted up at 7. Welliver to throw, and he's going to fumble the football. It's recovered by Tennessee. I don't think anybody's going to chase him down. Touchdown, Volunteers. This D-line is one of the best we've ever faced. They got in Cole Welliver's face, forcing the fumble, and it is a scoop and score for Tennessee. I don't know how somebody got in the backfield that quickly. We'll have to take a look at the replay, but it's going to be a lead for Tennessee. It was Jack Hines allowing his man through. 1st and 10 UConn after the unfortunate scoop and score for Tennessee. It's 14-7 now for them as Robinson finally gets a good carry here, a first down to the 26. 5 rushing attempts for 13 yards, the bulk of that on that last carry. About 10 minutes left here in the first half. Robinson gets another carry, and again, nowhere to go. On 2nd and 9, Welliver will look to pass, and he wants Marcus Angler. Seems that Welliver is feeling the effects of this snow. His meter is a lot smaller than it usually is. If I hold it even a little bit too long, it ends up in the red. So maybe not a bad weather type of guy. 1st and 10 as Robinson finds a gap in the defense, gets past midfield to the 46. Max Cadet will check in for this next play. And from the 46, it'll go to the freshman halfback. Can't really find anything. 2nd and 10 from the 45. Big blitz on its way again. Welliver gonna find Angler again. And he does not quite get the first, sets up a 3rd and 1. Just need a yard here, really less than a yard from Darrell Robinson. That's who this ball is going to. He gets the first, bouncing it back, and goes down at the 32. So the running game opening up a little bit, starting to get a touch better. 1st down and 10. Robinson to get another carry, and goes down after a pickup of 4. 2nd and 6 from the 28. Huge blitz on its way from the Volunteers. We get this to Robinson, but he's actually going to lose 3 yards. Well played by Mason Curtis. I believe that's who that was in coverage. I'm assuming that's why the name popped up. 3rd and 9 from the 32. Welliver to throw, and he wants Jackson Harper, who takes a huge hit. Only gets 2 yards back, and now it's 4th and 7. Now we're going to have to attempt another long field goal with Costanzo. Kick on its way, and that looks like it's going to be good, and it is. That one did actually have the leg. Costanzo makes a 46-yarder, and it's 14-10. The snowy conditions definitely having an impact on this game. 1st down and 10. It's a fake handoff, and down goes Yamaliava. It's D'Angelo Townsend with a sack. A loss of 8 on the first play of the new drive. 2nd and 18 for Tennessee from their own 6. It is a handoff. Bishop, and he's going to have a big pickup. Robert Butts back in the game. Stops him before the first, but it's a 3rd and 4. They could go to the ground here from the 21. 4 yards has not been a difficult thing to pick up against us on the ground, but Yamaliava actually looks to throw. Corin Daly trying to chase him down, pushing him into Johnny McNulty, and he throws it away, and they'll punt it away. A good stand from the UConn defense. 3.5 minutes is what remains here in the first half. From the 43, Robinson will get the carry, but Ben Morosky did not pick up the block he needed to. On 2nd and 8 from the 45, another blitz on its way from Tennessee, and Welliver will go down. He had Porter open if he had a little bit more time. Blitz not picked up, 3rd and 15. 3rd and long from the 38. Welliver taking a deep ball to Dalton Schmizniak. Diving attempt. He can't make the play. And UConn will have to punt. 1st and 10 from their own 43. Winning the field position battle right now is Tennessee. Iamaliava throws. Has a man wide open. Raheem Lovelace couldn't keep up with the tight end Ethan Davis. From the 31, 1st and 10 inside of 2 minutes. Here in the 2nd quarter, hit as he throws and completed anyway. Touchdown, Blair Saylor, and the Volunteers will extend their lead to 2 possessions. It's Iamaliava finding his #1 target, Blair Saylor. I think that was George Kiki in coverage. It looked like he tried to undercut the route. It was Kiki, and he was just a step too late. Starting from their own 18, it's a 1st and 10 for the Huskies. 1:52 left in the 1st half. Plenty of time to get some additional points. Running back screen set up for Robinson, but Morosky didn't get out there quick enough. 1:20 left to play on 2nd and 8 from the 20. As Welliver throws underneath. Jackson Harper makes a move, gets the 1st. About a minute left to play now. As we'll look to pass, and he wants Angler. It's tipped away. A bad throw from Welliver. I don't fully understand why that throw was so terrible. I barely tapped the button. It already got to the red. 2nd and 10 as Welliver's back to pass, and he runs out of time, and Tennessee calls a timeout as they think they can get more points before the half. 3rd and forever from the 24. Welliver back to pass. He wants Tobin. It's underthrown again. Welliver really struggling in the snowy conditions. Again, I did not hold the button very long, and it immediately got into the red. Tobin had his man beat, and Welliver just didn't lob it enough. 38 seconds and 2 timeouts for Tennessee. Could easily find some additional points. Iamaliava trying to go over the middle, finding Saylor, and it's complete. George Kiki having a tough time keeping up with the star wideout. 32 seconds and already in field goal range for the Volunteers. As this one goes up the seam, that is caught by Rich Byron, and they're at the 10. They let the clock tick way down, calling a timeout. Wow, if they call that timeout earlier, they could definitely take a shot to the end zone. Instead, they'll settle for just a field goal attempt with 4 seconds left. Very bad time management from Tennessee, but this is a chip shot. I imagine it will be good, and it is. So it's 24-10 as we head to halftime. It's been all Tennessee in the 1st half. We looked really good to start. 24-10 is the score. We've, of course, had the scoop and score fumble, but man, Cole Welliver is just really struggling. UConn needs to find some points on this drive, as Tennessee has not had much issue moving the football. Dalton Schmizniak going to be the beneficiary of the jet touch pass here. Finds 5 yards. 2nd and 5 from the 24. Robinson to get the carry and stop just short of that 1st down marker. From the 28, only about a half yard to get. Robinson will do so easily to the 33. 1st and 10. Welliver looking to throw, and he wants the tight end Dan Sanders. Breaks a tackle, gets 4. 2nd down and 6 from the 37. It's a reverse play for Dorian Tobin, and he spins back to the middle, nearly breaking away, setting up a 3rd and 1. Seems like we just need to make it easy for Welliver right now. If we can establish a running game and take maybe some more drag routes, since Welliver is struggling to throw deeper down the field at the moment. 1st and 10 from the 44. Robinson gonna get the carry to the outside. That flag is almost certainly a holding penalty, and it's on the freshman tight end Dan Sanders. 1st and 20 after that, and we'll get this to Angler, but his route takes him backwards, and he loses a yard. Not going great so far. 2nd and 21. Welliver to pass, and he wants Angler, just does not have the time. 3rd down and forever. Torian Johnson has had such a great year since he moved to center. It's a shame that he's playing so poorly on the biggest stage. 3rd and 21. Welliver, he's got a man. Schmizniak is wide open, and he finds him finally. Cole Welliver finding it again, but Śmierniak too slow, can't get into the end zone. First and goal at the 1 though, a big play and a much needed wake up for Cole Welliver. Dalton Śmierniak, the release was elite, dusted his man down the field. That's what we have him in there for, and nearly a touchdown. First and goal from the 1. It's Max Cadet in the backfield. Ball goes to him, and he gets it into the end zone. Touchdown UConn, back within a score. That drive was not pretty, but we got it done thanks mostly to the freshman wideout Dalton Śmierniak, giving Cole Welliver the most wide open target he could have. Max Cadet finishes it off. So the offense got you back within a score. Defense just needs to hold down the fort. First and 10 from the 15. Handoff Bishop. It's Terrell and Daly in the backfield. Second and 12 for Tennessee from their own 12. And it's another handoff Bishop, and look at the open field he has. Missed tackle from George Kiki, and it's a first and 10 up to about the 30. Disappointing after the TFL to give up such a massive pickup. From the 29, first and 10, fake to Bishop, and down goes Iamaliava. It's Kiki in the backfield initially, and then I think that was Johnny McNulty getting the actual sack. A loss of 7 for the Tennessee quarterback. It was Johnny Sparkplug McNulty, and now it's D'Angelo Townsend jumping. Man, he has had a problem with that all season. And a lot of these players just struggling on this biggest stage, not used to this level of pressure. So now a second and very long becomes just a second and long, second and 12. But that's what they had last time when they ran it and picked up about 10 yards. This time it's incomplete. Cam Chadwick in coverage on Blair Saylor. I did change up the cornerback matchups, as now Cam Chadwick, when in man coverage at least, will just be following Saylor around. Third and 12. Deep shot taken. Daniel Hutchison is there, but he allows the catch. Hutchison, normally so good on the deep ball, allows that one to be caught. You can't make it up. I was so certain he would swat this down. That's Mike Matthews on the reception. Hutchison just went too far and allowed Matthews to get underneath it. Oh, dude, he's been such a good deep ball safety all year. I can't remember the last time he's allowed something like that. Brutal, absolutely brutal. Should have been fourth down and a punt away. Instead, Tennessee in the red zone. Iamaliava will hand off Bishop, elite blocking again, and Hutchison will make the tackle with some help from Chadwick, and it's a first and goal from the 5. And just mental fatigue maybe from UConn. I don't know what's going on. A number of players having some of their worst games on the year. Torian Johnson, Daniel Hutchison, and a few other guys. Hutchison trying to make up for it now as he's gone back-to-back plays with a tackle. Second and goal from the 1. Need a stand here. Would love it if we could hold them to a field goal. It's not going to happen. Bishop walks it in. Touchdown, Tennessee. Daniel Hutchison allowing that deep ball is going to haunt me for the rest of my days. So back down 2 scores for UConn. Welliver been struggling. The offensive line been struggling. Trying to get this to Dorian Tobin, can't do it. Second and 10 from the 20. So we'll look to throw, and it's another bad throw from Welliver, third down. It's funny because I think on the stat sheet, Welliver's day probably looks pretty good, but if you know how Cole Welliver plays, you know this isn't a very good day for him, but he does find Marcus Angler, who has been very involved, his 5th catch. Angler kind of that guy where when Welliver's not feeling it, he knows he can go to him. This one trying to get it to Dalton Śmierniak. It's a drop. It was rifled in there by Welliver, but Śmierniak usually good for those. Nobody touched it. Second and 10, 2:22 left in the third. Robinson going to get the carry and really nowhere to go. Third and 9. Welliver back to pass. He wants Angler again and again. It's not a great throw, but Angler bails him out. First and 10 to the 45. Marcus Angler, have a day. I promise you guys, I am barely tapping these buttons right now, and it is just reaching the red almost immediately currently with Welliver. He really just, I guess, is not great in these adverse conditions. Second and 4 from the 39. Welliver to throw again. And again, I barely tap the button. It gets to the yellow, but it's another grab for Angler. We approach the end of the third quarter. Welliver will go back to pass, and he has Darrell Robinson. Can't make anybody miss, but does get 5. And that brings us to what could be the final quarter of UConn Huskies football here in year 4. So the fourth quarter officially begins with a 2nd down and 4. That one not caught by Angler. I actually did not see that corner step down. So it's a 3rd and 5. Welliver back to pass and scrambling. He's going to fumble the football for a 2nd time, and it's recovered by Tennessee. 1st and 10, Volunteers at their own 44. It's looking grim for the UConn Huskies. Take a look at the replay here, see if anything got open. It was only a 4-man rush. Jack Hines allowing his man through, which is why I started scrambling to the right. Probably should have just tried to force it to Porter earlier. Although I think if we throw it here, it gets undercut by the corner that's on him. And then Angler is maybe the next best option, but the pressure's there. I don't know. There's really not a lot open here. Obviously, almost anything was better than that fumble, though. We need someone on this defense to make a huge play, or the season is probably over. 1st and 10 from the 44. Iamaliava brings the fullback over to the right, and it's a handoff. Bishop. D'Angelo Townsend gets the TFL. We have been historically bad on 2nd and 12, at least today, in today's history. From the 43, Tennessee to throw. Iamaliava throws quickly. Chadwick can't force it out. It is going to be a 3rd and 4. Iamaliava will actually take off to run himself up the middle. Huge lane, runs into the ref and over the ref and up to the 23. Tennessee on the move. 1st and 10 inside the 25. Iamaliava hands off Bishop. Joey Terrell force it out. No, he can't do it. 2nd and 9 from the 21. It's an RPO, and this one is caught. That's Spillman on the reception and gets a 1st. I will once again mention it is looking grim for UConn. Iamaliava hands off Bishop, and a tackle from Cam Chadwick. Honestly, not certain why they're running the hurry up. 2nd and 2 out of the shotgun for Iamaliava. Brings a man over in motion. And then it's a handoff. Bishop stopped short, and it's a 3rd down. So now they officially are starting to chew clock. They are no longer in the hurry up. Under 9 minutes left to play. And it's a throw from Iamaliava, but Raheem Lovelace gets the pressure and will force a field goal. It's still not ideal, as they'll be up 17, but it's better than the touchdown. Would be a huge opportunity for a field goal block. Would be the best time all year. AJ Hepburn, can you do it? You can't. And the kick is good for Tennessee, 34-17. And marching out onto the football field is Neil Powell. Cole Welliver, in what is looking like the final game of the season, has been benched. Play action, and Powell looks to throw, hit as he throws, and it's going to be intercepted immediately. Maybe a mistake to bring Powell in. Tennessee going to take over. You might be wondering why I did bring Neil Powell in. It's primarily because he has Silver the Natural, which is the mental ability where you play better in bad conditions. This isn't his fault. He's hit as he throws. What are you supposed to do? I was trying to lob it up for Tobin on the first play. Could have just gone to Dan Sanders instead. This O-line just couldn't keep up today, unfortunately. Manny Smith, the right tackle, getting beat. But yeah, Dan Sanders, the tight end, definitely the play. If I hit it here, he's quite open. Just a collapse from the Huskies in what at this point is almost certainly the final game of the season. 1st and 10 from the 40. Bishop swallowed up by Johnny McNulty, Joey Terrell, and Raheem Lovelace. We are, of course, still going to try. That's all you can do. I mean, the season's over after this if we can't crawl our way back. We're obviously running out of time. Need a huge stop here. Bishop gets the carry. Need Terrell to make a play, but he gets beaten by a block, and Robert Butts has to make the tackle, but it's a 1st for Tennessee. So now a 1st and 10 at the 28. Iamaliava throws, and that one is completed. Terrell gets the tackle, but it's another 1st. Once again, they are still running hurry up, which makes no sense. They should absolutely just be trying to chew clock at this point, but instead, it almost seems like they're trying to run up the score. Iamaliava to throw under some pressure, but gets it in there. 1st and goal to the 4. So now, handoff up the middle, and Bishop will punch it in. Touchdown, Tennessee. And this game is all but over. Powell's still the quarterback. We'll probably keep him for the rest of the game. I feel like it gives us our best chance with that ability as he finds Harper, but Harper's blown up. 2nd and 10 from the 17. Take this to Darrell Robinson. Gets to the first. We'll hurry it up, of course. From the 30, it's a 1st and 10. Powell's out of the shotgun. He will look to throw. And he's got Dorian Tobin deep. Did he find him? He does. Dorian Tobin in zone. Touchdown, UConn. Maybe not dead yet. It seemed like all hope was lost. But now Neil Powell finding Dorian Tobin on a deep ball. And it's a touchdown for the Huskies. Finally, maybe some life in this team. And we get it from the freshman to freshman combination. We are going to go for the 2-point conversion here. So from the 3, Powell looks to throw. And he wanted Porter. It's knocked into the air and incomplete. 6:38 left to play. 1st and 10, Tennessee. Iamaleava out of the shotgun. Hands off Bishop. We need instant stops from UConn. 2nd and 5. So they are fully chewing the clock now. It's a handoff, Bishop, and we run committed, but it didn't matter. Getting the first easily. So 1st and 10 at the 30. Iamaleava will hand off again, Bishop. And again, it does not matter that we run commit. I know it's only a pickup of 4, but they keep getting these plays. 2nd and 6. We'll probably start using timeouts after this play, assuming we can get a stop. Bishop runs into Hutchison, and then Terrell gets the tackle. Will burn a timeout. 3rd and 3, the biggest 3rd down of the game so far. Bishop tackled down by Raheem Lovelace. UConn will get the ball back. 23-41, but there is the slimmest of chances. And as I've said, all we can do at this point is try. As Powell tries to get this to Tobin, and he does so. 5 catches for 179 for Dorian Tobin. 1st and 10 from the 48. Powell looks to throw again. And trying to launch one to Tobin again. Incomplete. On 2nd and 10, stepping up is Powell. Does have good speed, but unfortunately goes down. It's a 3rd and 13. Big 3rd down here. Of course, it is 4 down territory. Schmizniak beat his man off the line, but it's a bad throw from Powell. And that's the dagger. Intercepted for the 2nd time already. 1st and 10, Tennessee. Why was that throw so bad? I promise you guys, I am tapping the button right now. Schmizniak beat his man badly off the line again. I wanted to give him a lob, but I don't know if it's an under pressure issue. It was red, like immediately. Severely underthrown, really wobbly. Corner makes a play, and UConn season is over. Iamaleava will take one knee and move on to face Oklahoma State. That is a really good Tennessee football team with maybe the best quarterback in the country on it. Game over. UConn's run comes to an end with back-to-back losses. In the Big 12 championship, losing a heartbreaker to Oklahoma State, and then losing not quite in blowout fashion, but pretty significant fashion to Tennessee. You know, there's some regrets I have with this game that I would probably do a little bit differently if given the opportunity to go back, but I do just think that we're a little outmatched, to be honest with you. It's another SEC opponent, a really good one. They only had 3 losses on the season. Those were all in conference play. Of course, the SEC is an unreal conference. We all know this. And to be honest with you, I think that the sliders I was on previously were just a little bit too easy. We are a good football team. We aren't a football team that can win a natty. And man, it's good to know how terrible Cole Welliver is in snowy weather. He was horrible. I'm telling you guys, like, I was tapping these buttons to try to keep it in the blue, and it was getting to the red almost instantly a lot of the time. I don't know if they had like a D lineman with some type of ability that makes pressure more significant or something, but it was hard to throw. And I really thought that Powell gave us the best opportunity when I brought him in, since he had the natural, which means you play better under bad conditions. That's why I brought Powell in. I think if I got a redo, I probably wouldn't have, but it honestly is just hindsight, right? If it had worked, then I'd look like a genius for bringing in Powell, but pretty much immediately it didn't because of the hit as he throws interception. So if we take a look at player stats, Cole Welliver, 20 for 34, 268 yards, a touchdown, no picks. It's really not a bad stat line. It's worse completion percentage than we're used to seeing for Welliver. He's usually very well over 60%, but unfortunately not today. Powell came in and honestly really wasn't better. And there was that deep ball to Schmizniak that I think could have been a touchdown that was underthrown terribly because it hit the red. Robinson, another quiet day, 15 attempts for 60. It's unfortunate that it was basically a no-show from Porter. That's kind of why I got him that drag route catch at the very end. It's his last game as a UConn Husky. He might be drafted. There's a slim chance he's like a late round pick. He is a really good player. Wish we could have gotten him more involved. It just honestly didn't have time to throw down the field very much. Plus, Welliver was just inaccurate down the field as well. It was really Marcus Angler was the only guy that I felt comfortable getting the ball to consistently on the short and medium routes. And then Tobin honestly did have a great game, really mostly off of 2 deep ball touchdowns. Torian Johnson, Ben Morosky, and Manny Smith all giving up a sack. Normally, Torian Johnson with about 1 billion pancakes had his worst game probably of the whole season today, allowing the sack and only getting the 3 pancakes. Defensively, didn't really see anyone that really popped off other than probably Cam Chadwick. He did force 2 fumbles. They're only listing 1, I think probably because it was the only one that was recovered, but I believe he did actually force the other one. Yeah, the other one's not being listed, but there were 2 fumbles forced, and I think it was Cam Chadwick who got the first one as well. 14 tackles for Terrell and Chadwick. Hutchison and Lovelace also in double digits. Lovelace with 2 TFLs, but McNulty and Townsend, the edges with 3 TFLs, led the team. Not the way I would have preferred the season to end, but it is what it is. All you can do is move on. Like I said, I really don't think we're ready for a national championship appearance. I think that we probably could have beaten Oklahoma State in the next round if given the opportunity to try again. But I also think there's a really good chance that Tennessee beats them, especially at a neutral site. We had home field advantage and really struggled against that offense. So we go ahead and advance the week. Let's take a look at the bracket, what other teams won. Stanford upsets UNC, Nebraska beating Baylor, and then Georgia beating Kansas State. So it's Oklahoma State versus Tennessee, Tulsa versus Georgia, USC versus Nebraska, and Texas versus Stanford. We'll see if Tennessee can actually manage to beat Oklahoma State or if Oklahoma State is just a different breed. We did manage to hire Brendan Ezekiel, so starting next season we'll have that Central Florida pipeline along with the North Florida pipeline from Matt Glenn, and we will have a 4-2-5 defensive scheme. We advance the week again, and yeah, did you guys see that score that briefly popped up on the screen? Tennessee killed Oklahoma State. We put up a much better fight versus Tennessee than Oklahoma State did, so I really don't feel too bad. I do think that we probably would beat Oklahoma State if given the opportunity to try again. That would have been a really fun revenge game, but the SEC is just different, man, and I mean, it's proven here by 3 of the top 4 being SEC teams. Tennessee, Georgia, and Texas on the top 4, USC beating Nebraska. So the next episode, of course, will be the off-season episode. I want to start streaming these episodes, but I am nearing the end of my college semester, and really the only time I'd be able to stream it is next weekend, but I have so many assignments due. I'm gonna unfortunately just have to record it ahead of time. So the next episode will of course be the off-season episode. We'll recap season number 4, go through the season 4 off-season, and get ready for season number 5. But anyway, that's gonna do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching and for the continued support. Apologies for the disappointing end to season number 4, but I think season number 5 we may actually be ready to contend against those types of teams. If you haven't done so already, consider joining the community Discord. There is a link to it down in the description below. And also consider becoming a channel member. You can hit that join button and become a channel member for as little as $1 a month, and it does help me out a ton. You'll also see your name in the end credit sequence of every single episode. But if you find yourself coming back on the regular and you aren't already subscribed, go ahead and hit that sub button for me. It does help me out a lot. And I will see you guys in the next episode where we'll finish out year 4, get through the off season, and prepare for year number 5.